So the simulation theory, I'm not against it, honestly, because when I look into astrology, especially looking into the asteroids, there's just so much information about not only like where our soul has been, but where we are presently and the future, that I kind of think of life like those Goosebumps books where you would read like a chapter and then at the end of the chapter it would say like choose, one or the other, and then it would say jump to page 89, and then you would go to that page and continue on from there. And I kind of think of life like having multiple endings, but it's all within the same book. And that we do have a lot of free will programmed into our lives to make those choices, like the Goosebumps books. But we also have a lot of fated points, which would be the choices when they're offered that would take us to the different chapters. So I do think it's a heavy mix of free will and fate, and our choices leading to different things, and that there are different endings possible. So in that sense, but I feel like it's so beautifully and very intricately orchestrated that we can't even fathom what small choices will lead to big things and where the fated points are. Because I also see that there's so many fated individuals that we come into contact with in all different ways, people that we have been coming into contact with from other lives over and over and over again. So that's part of the orchestrated stories that we are all playing out. And I think that the reason we relate to stories so heavily is because life is like a story, stories within stories within stories. And we're playing out all these stories, and there is a lot of free will involved, but they are stories. And I think that I don't like to think of it so much like a simulation. I think there is a purpose and a rhyme and a reason to all of it. And I think it all comes down to our growth, because I think that one life is just a part of the overall picture. I think that all of the lives tell a bigger story, and that we literally live certain lives because of other lives and to get us to other lives. And it's more like a part 1, 2, 3, 4. Like our life is like a chapter within a book. So all the lives make up the book. So I think it's just so much more than we can comprehend, that I think it's like beyond a simulation in a way. But I do think it is similar to a simulation in the sense that we are like a player from the outside, and our bodies are just the vessel that we enter to play out the stories, that we are on the outside looking in and we just don't know it. So let me know your thoughts on that, because I'd really like to discuss that more. I'm very into thinking of life and like what it is and how we got here and when we leave, where we're going. And also, I'm into a lot of like conspiracies and stuff, so I have a lot of thoughts on it. So let me know down in the comments what you think about it.